senior writer for RealTime Fantasy Sports. Welcome to another edition of the RealTime Fantasy Sports Show. On today's show, I'm going to give you 5 hot plays for Week 9 of the fantasy football season. These are 5 guys I think are going to have good weeks for all you fantasy owners that own them. So I would get them in your lineup if you have them on your rosters. Okay, let's go get right into it. My first hot play, Bills quarterback Josh Allen. So Allen, he's really ice cold right now, though. He is 21st in fantasy quarterback score in his last 3 games. He got off to a great start to the year, but he's really stumbled in recent weeks. But I think he's ready for a big rebound week. He plays Seattle, who allows the most fantasy points to quarterbacks. This is a prime matchup for Allen. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, a lot of fantasy points on both sides of the ball. Buffalo's going to have to score a lot to keep up with the Seattle offense. I think Allen is ready to get back to his big ways from earlier in the season. My next hot play is Chiefs running back Clyde EdwardsHelaire. So I'm not too worried about Le'Veon Bell just yet. I just haven't been very impressed with him through 2 games with the Chiefs. Last week, he had 6 carries for just 7 yards. I think EdwardsHelaire is still the guy that's going to get most of the work, and he has the most potential in a great matchup this week against Carolina. The Panthers allow the 4th most fantasy points of running backs this year. We know EdwardsHelaire certainly has the potential for the huge game. I know last week was a prime matchup for EdwardsHelaire as well, playing the Jets. Didn't quite come to fruition with Kansas City throwing the ball all over the place and not running very much. But I think they'll run the ball a little more this week against that porous Carolina Panthers rush defense. I think EdwardsHelaire is going to rebound, have a very good showing for all of his fantasy owners. My next hot play is Chargers receiver Mike Williams. So Williams had 5 catches for 99 yards and a touchdown last week. He has scores 2 of 3 games and at least 99 yards 2 of those games. He's been playing very well. He's starting to emerge in what's turned out to be a great Chargers passing game with Justin Herbert leading the way. And this week they play the Raiders. They allow 266 passing yards per game. I think they'll throw the ball a lot once again. Williams is going to be a solid play, maybe a low-end number 2 or a top number 3 fantasy receiver. My next hot play is Patriots running back Damien Harris. So New England is a hard team to trust right now. Their offense is a mess. But one guy I do kind of like is Damien Harris. He had his second 100-yard game of the season last week, also scored his first touchdown. He has double-digit carries 3 of 4 games. He's one of the few dependable options in this Patriots offense right now, and he plays the Jets. They allow the 8th most fantasy points to running backs. I can see New England running the ball a ton in this game, especially with all their weapons at receiver banged up and not doing a whole lot with the chances provided by Cam Newton. I think Harris gets a ton of work again, could hit that 100-yard mark for the 2nd straight week. My last hot play is Broncos quarterback Drew Lock. So Lock finally had that big game last week, showed his potential. He got going in the second half, led his team to a big comeback victory, had his first 3-touchdown game of the season. And most importantly to me is he has attempted 40-plus passes 2 straight games, so he's getting a chance to air it out. I think he'll throw a lot again this week against Atlanta. They allow the 2nd most fantasy points to quarterbacks. They've really struggled against the pass this year. I think Lock's set up for another good showing. Hopefully he has a big finish to his season because I know a lot of people had high hopes for him coming into the season, but his season started off slow. People lost hope, but I think things can turn around for Lock going forward, and it starts this week against Atlanta. All right, those are my 5 hot plays for Week 9 of the fantasy football season. Hopefully you have a lot of these hot plays in your lineup this week, and they lead you to victory. This has been Jeff Paur for RealTime Fantasy Sports. Have a great day.